Hey guys, what I've got here is my first portable fan acquisition of 2024. It is a 1970s Mastercraft 12-inch oscillating fan, and it is in fact the same model as the one I already have, the one I got a couple of years ago. So the story behind this fan is that it came from my university campus, and I first spotted it last semester in maybe like October or November. As I was walking through some corridors, there was an office on the side with the door just open enough for me to peek inside, and I saw this fan sitting on the desk. But at that time the office was vacant, so I wasn't sure who worked there, so I wasn't really sure who to contact if I wanted to ask about the fan. But fast forward to just a few weeks ago, I was studying nearby, and I happened to see the librarian walk into the office. So I just kind of jumped into action and I asked her, well, I talked about my hobby, saying I collect fans as a hobby, and she thought it was really cool, and we talked a little bit about fans and some of the fans she had and her grandparents and stuff, so it was really cool. But then I asked her, I saw this cool fan that you have on your desk, and I was wondering if I could have the fan if I buy you a new fan. And to my surprise, she said, oh, you can just have it. So that was completely unexpected. I asked her, are you sure? I mean, I could buy you a new fan, but she said it was totally cool. Apparently this fan was kind of passed around from colleague to colleague on campus for more than 15 years, so it's been doing its job, but in the recent years it hasn't really seen much use, and the librarian told me she didn't really need it, so she let me have it, so I brought it home, and now it's just waiting to be cleaned up and put into use. Now these are really good fans, and there's a reason why I really wanted this fan. If it was like a generic, no-name brand modern fan, I wouldn't have asked for it, but this is a good old Lasco-made Mastercraft fan, so of course I had to have it. So I'm glad I got it, and hopefully we'll get this thing cleaned up. It doesn't really need that much. I've only noticed two major issues so far. The first one is a missing badge there, and also the switch is a little wonky, but I think with some tinkering I could figure something out. Alright, so now it's time for the obligatory handheld close-up inspection. But let's go and start up here at the top. So this fan is missing all four of its plastic clips that hold the grills together. So it's got, let's see, three pieces of wire and twist ties holding the grills on. It's doing their job. The grills are being held on reasonably well, but I'll try to see if I can figure something out. The badge is in pretty good shape. The chrome is in very nice shape. A lot of times you see the chrome kind of worn off. It's a little bit worn off there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. The logo's missing, so I'm going to see if I can make my own and try to replicate it based on the one that I already have. The grill's in alright shape. Nothing's bent or mangled, but it has kind of lost its shine and feels a little gritty, so you could probably use a polish. A little steel wool and some WD-40 or something will take care of that. A little bit of yellowing on the plastic, not a huge deal. Now thankfully both of these base plates are intact. These are, I think, metal plates that have these printing on it. And a lot of times this piece is missing, but it is intact on here. Quite a bit of dust. Now the librarian told me that the switch is a little funky. Yeah, it doesn't press very well. They don't stay down, apparently. So, yeah, they're very sticky and it definitely has some problems. So I'm gonna have to look into that for sure. One of these speeds I was not able to engage at all. So I don't know if it works for sure, but we'll test it out again in just a bit. Yeah, overall in great shape. None of the plastic's cracked or broken anywhere, which is really more important than little things like the switch not working well. You can see some evidence of The motor being packed with dust. Can't wait to see what's inside. And let's check out the bottom of the fan. So thankfully all of the feet are intact. These are made of rubber and sometimes they kind of disintegrate over time. There's the information. Can't really read it when it's sideways, but well, let me see. CTC 120, is that what it says? 0.37 amps. And it's got these numbers here, which I was told by a collector that it does decipher into a date code perhaps. But I'm having a hard time deciphering that because it's not really even legible. Yeah, I'll look into it later. It's got these little mount holes. I wonder if you can mount these on the wall. It'd be kind of awkward though. Anyways, let's go and test it. Alright, let's get this plugged in. Here is what the plug looks like. It's a simple molded plug. I'm surprised by how straight the prongs are. Usually on fans that get used a lot by a lot of people, the prongs get pretty mangled, but this is pretty much perfect. Alright, so without further ado, let's go to test it on, starting on low speed. Oh wow, look at that. When I first tested it, the low speed wouldn't even go down, the switch, but now it's not only going down, but it actually engaged the contacts. Incredible. Actually, this is the first time I'm seeing it run on low. Because before I couldn't even get the fan into low speed. That's one thing really nice about these Lasco fans. The low speed is very quiet and gentle. Not a super crazy powerful breeze, but obviously it's low speed, so you're not going to expect that. These are great fans. Nice and quiet. I'm hearing a little bit of grinding sound from the gearbox, I'm assuming. They probably just need some new grease. Alright, let's bump it up to medium, see what it does. And there's a strip of tape here which the librarian told me that she uses this to engage the middle or the medium speed. Huh, look at that. So I don't really know what the problem is with the switch. It seems to be working fairly well. It does take some force to push the contacts down, or the switch down, but it's not malfunctioning or anything like that. Because when I was talking to her, she mentioned that the speeds wouldn't engage properly because the buttons wouldn't stay pushed down. But they seem to be okay to me. Yeah, when I first tested it, they weren't working too well though, so I don't know, maybe it just got the magic touch from just sitting around in my workshop. So there's medium, working very well. Still a very quiet fan. These are such great runners. Let's try high speed. So high speed does not stay down. So I just have to keep it pushed down. Oh, there we go. It does stay down. Just kind of have to push down really hard. Now that's got some good power to it. And also the sound these fans produce, it's very pleasant. Let's check the balance on it, see how it is. It's not too bad. It's got a little shake to it, but this is way below what I would consider unacceptable, so nothing to be concerned about in my opinion. Alright, let's try the oscillation. It's got that little clunking sound, which I believe is just the rotor kind of bouncing in and out and hitting the thrust washers in both the front and rear bearing. Usually some oil and some additional thrust washers will take care of that. So that works fine. There it is on medium again with the oscillation. Working just fine. And there's low. Oh, that did not sound good. I don't know what that was. But anyways, overall this fan seems to be working just fine. It needs to be just maintained like a lot of things, but yeah, I thought for sure the switch would be completely non-functional, but to me it's 85% working just fine. I'm actually going to take this piece of tape off right now so it doesn't leave a residue. Ah, great. That just ripped. The thing about these Scotch tapes is that they do peel off easily, but sometimes they peel off a little too well, and they just kind of fall into pieces. Alright, there we go. That wasn't too bad. And that actually shut the fan off, which is not what I wanted. We'll shut the oscillation off, let it run on high speed for a bit. And there's the spin down. Hey, that's not a bad spin down time. Not bad at all. Alright, well that is the 1970s Mastercraft 12-inch oscillator. Great fan, I'm definitely glad I got it. I got two fans from my high school, let me think, like 4 or 5 years ago, the Super and the Hampton Bay. So it's definitely nice to be able to acquire another fan from my university before I graduate. So yeah, I'll get this fan cleaned up eventually, probably this coming summer, and I'll fabricate a new logo for the center badge there, and hopefully get this thing looking pretty darn close to the other one that I have. They'll look like twins. So anyways guys, that's going to be it for this video, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.